You're not live yet, are you?
Yeah, I just posted live, dude. We're getting ready to do our radio show.
We're on the radio?
We're on the radio.
I'm on the radio.
The only problem is
I
the
don't
angle.
see you.
It's not even picking up Brandon.
He meant to do that. He wants a two-camera angle, remember?
Yeah. There, now it's picking you up. But yeah, go to my Facebook, see if it's live.
So I don't see how you see. Facebook Live.
It's live.
It is live.
We are live.
Almost live, it looks like.
Almost
This is
live.
like kind of live.
It's like a delay. Let me get my beats.
So the producer over there.
So Bernie, so you're an investment banker, founder of CEO Space International, thought leader within the industry. What else do you want me to say?
He's a best-selling author and a movie producer.
So, author and movie producer. Good knocking. Can you check? Thanks for doing this.
Oh, my pleasure for the launch show. It's great.
All the
Yeah.
fun stuff's gonna happen today, right?
Get your list straight. Make sure you get a flash drive of your first one. Tell them to.
Yeah, they're gonna report, yeah.
Excuse me, how are you doing, everyone?
Oh, you just nailed the camera.
Wow, I just nailed it.
It's not my camera, but yeah.
I'm
Just the
sorry.
main one.
Just the main one.
Well, usually they have to point the camera at me for me to hurt the camera, but oops. Sorry.
Man, you're just closing through this one, huh?
It's a rough day. You woke up.
Yeah.
How are you?
Doing good, I'm Sean.
Sean, Mike Triggers.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet
Brandon
you.
Heinz.
Brandon, nice to meet you.
Bernie Durham, Sean.
Oh,
Guest.
Bernie.
How are
Nice to meet-
you?
Oh, guest. And?
Erlene Coates.
Early another, are you a regular guest, or?
She's driving the guest.
I'm the driver.
Oh, you're the driver, so you
She's
don't
the
need a
driving
mic.
force behind
Is
this.
that right?
Right.
Oh, okay. In that case, let's see.
Set
May
this one
we,
down.
oh,
Oops.
is it possible to use that one instead of that one?
I'd have to stretch for it. Because my camera's coming right across this,
Oh, okay.
right?
Okay, so, well, all right. Then we got that. We got 4.
How will you let me know about commercial time?
How do you like it? Do you like me to just roll music under you? Do you like me to give you like a 1 minute?
Yeah, give me like
Deal.
a 3, 2, 1.
A 3 minute?
Yeah, we're long-winded.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
So-
then if we're getting too long-winded, start rolling the music, and we'll know to go ahead and close.
Okay, but you don't have to cut yourself off as soon as the music comes on.
Yeah.
Because it'll go for a minute.
Okay.
You can just finish whatever you're saying. You don't
Yeah.
have to worry about.
You gotta cut it off.
Hey, folks, there on Facebook Live, you're getting it raw.
This is
like
the raw
right now,
bloopers.
raw. The bloopers.
We're on Facebook right now?
Yes,
Yeah.
we are.
Somehow, I think they
So
call
they
this
saw me
social
smash
media.
the camera.
No, they didn't
and-
see that angle. We
and
just
shut the
we
lights
told
off.
them. They saw the
What
lights
was your
go
name
off.
again?
Sean.
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 So whenever a music comes on, it's like Sean is letting me know that we're going to break now.
Yep.
Yes. And at the end, though, the 3 minutes, then it'll be 2, 1. The music comes
Absolutely.
on at 1, and I'm forgetting something. I know I always forget something. It's a tradition.
Well, I'm sure we'll remember.
When I leave the house in the morning, I go out to my truck, and every time I get out to the truck, it's like,
Now, do you have any of
such-
the bumpers or commercials yet, or they didn't finish them?
Commercials, I don't think I have.
Okay, I think they're gonna roll.
Or maybe, frankly, that's something I forgot, so they may have them in there.
Okay,
They may have them in there, I will check. The bumpers are in there.
nice.
And so, it's the Money 2.0 bumpers,
Okay,
you know.
yeah, we have our own bumpers, but I don't think
Oh,
they're
you
done.
do?
Yep.
Okay, then in that case, they don't have them. Because they told me it was the Money 2.0.
Is there another chair?
But,
I have a lot of energy.
there are tons of chairs.
So I can't sit still in this one.
But I don't know if we can get a chair through there.
Yeah, they said that about you in the cameras, that you're all over the board.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, what? I don't ever see you really move.
Oh, I'm always, yeah. I can't sit still. My high energy. My ADHD, DHD, BMW, and everything else after that.
That's the conversation we had with my son this morning. He said, what's ADHD? And I said, well, this is what it stands for, and then there's this one, and then
You're
there's
gonna
this
have it
one.
roll into your show, you
Yep.
have your headphones on.
Yeah, they're gonna do a 1-minute bumper.
So you still want me to introduce her?
Well, we're not introducing until in 10 minutes in, right?
Yeah.
The Del Wansley Show.
I don't know how you're gonna,
Can we sneak it through?
yeah, probably.
England?
I hate moving.
Yeah, if it's too difficult, don't worry about it. I'll try to sit still.
I just don't want to mess the
Camera.
camera up.
You wanna tell the camera guy that we moved it?
Yeah. Can you even do mic check?
We're on. Maybe.
Okay, we have about 5 minutes.
Really?
About 5 minutes.
How do we know mics are live?
I will point to you. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Stand by, and you're on.
Okay.
So you're gonna see it right now.
And the announcer will introduce you too, you know. But I'll point when the mic is hot.
Alright.
And the reason I came in was, I want to check the mics,
Okay.
please.
Yep. He bumped your camera.
Again?
No, from the first time we're
Telling
the
the guy
camera
when you-
guy just in case.
Oh, yes. I was monkeying with the camera. It happens.
Mic 1. Am I mic 1? Well then, mic 1. That means we have 4 mics
Are
here.
you on the show today? Oh, you're not?
Say hi.
Testing, 1, 2. Testing, 1, 2.
Mic 2? Mic 3 or mic 2? Oh, 3. Oh, okay, I got you. Mic 3, mic 4. Bernie?
Mic 4, testing, 1, 2,
Bernie.
3. Mic 4,
Break this down just a little bit.
mic 4.
Otherwise, I'm gonna lose
Mic
his face.
4.
So let me just scooch.
Do we gotta move this up?
Yeah, that would just
Like
change.
that?
Oh, I love that. I wish more people would do that.
Yep,
My headphones sound good.
yep. I can't hear any of the guys. I can hear the radio, yeah.
Can I have you bring your head up real quick? There you go. Perfect. Wish they make these studios a little bigger. Well, I want to get out of your way.
Nope.
Have a great show. Are We are recording.
How about the bumpers? Yeah, she kind of pushed this week forward a little early. Technically, we're supposed to start next week, but we're in. In the Now is ready to do it now. Yeah, all the questions you were asking were literally right there.
Yeah.
They know their way around here really well. How was the drive over?
It was actually pretty easy. So, traffic was actually light this morning. Not at all. So you're planning like 20, 30 minutes max, right?
Me?
For
Oh, yeah.
loading? Okay.
Hey, have her sign it. Just 'cause your picture and everything's on here.
Okay, no problem.
Are you gonna start?
Oh, it's always a great introduction when someone says your last name wrong. Hey, good way to start the In the Now. So welcome everybody. This is the launch of the In the Now radio show. You're here with host Brandon Heitz.
And Mike Driggers.
Yeah. So this show is basically going to start off for all of you working entrepreneurs, business owners, people out there just every day checking in and checking out daily.
Running the grind.
Yeah, the daily grind.
The daily grind.
Whether you're a cubicle jockey or someone that's just basically pushing on your first startup, from businesses growing, businesses that are stuck. We have a great special guest here we're going to introduce here a little bit later in the show. But basically what we're looking for right now in the Now is people who are looking to grow. People looking to change their life, add more choices to their menu, and basically just kind of move themselves along in a pattern that's adhesive to the growth.
To grow that business and create a lifestyle where you're working on your business and not in your business.
Yeah, so the main core of this is to help as many people get what they want. Business owners seem to find themselves in this daily grind, like Mike said, where they're just constantly working in their business and not really working on their business for growth, which means that pattern around you is kind of just stuck in this box where you're working all the time and you're trying to grow, but yet you're working in the business all the time and not growing it.
Absolutely. A lot of entrepreneurs, you know, they wear multiple hats, and sometimes they get caught up doing everything and not really doing what they do best, right? So they you know, that quote is that you use all the time, which I love, is, you know, do what you do best and delegate the rest. And a lot of these entrepreneurs they get caught up in having to multitask everything. They're trying to control everything. And so we're hoping to bring insight and knowledge and wisdom from not only our guest speakers, but just our years of experience and who we are as entrepreneurs. You know, I've been an entrepreneur since the age of 12. I know you, Brandon, since early age as well. We both have very successful businesses and have been very involved in from guerrilla marketing tactics to high level commercials, infomercials, and things of that nature. So we're hoping as the show progresses that you, the audience, get to take advantage of this knowledge and wisdom, especially with some of our great guests that we have.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer in if you want to go somewhere, there's always a place where you find someone who's been there before. In every single business I've ever done, even when I was a kid and I was smashing boxes for the local restaurant, I went over to the guy and said, hey, how do you want these boxes done? Let me learn the box and then figure out how I'm going to go outside the box to make it work better for me. So I'm a firm believer in just finding a mentor and really moving those things forward. And that's what this show is going to be about. We're going to bring guests on here that have been in places that you've been before, and they're going to give us tips and tell us how they would grow. One of my favorite things that I say at the Now Academy is, imagine what your business would be like if you had a mentor working with you for 6 months or a year. And then one of our guests today, one of their taglines right on the brochure he handed me is, imagine what happened to your business if you suddenly had access to key influencers. That's really the main topic of this show, and I'd never even seen this flyer till this morning.
Yeah.
But this is what we're looking for key influencers that can change it. There's a story that says, you know, if you looked back in the air pattern of this flight that's going to take off from California to New York, and if it was off by 2 degrees, it would land somewhere out in the ocean. Well, that's kind of what key influencers do for you. They're going to get that pattern where it's straight for you, where you're going to find that straight line to the goal you're going for, and then break it down into chunk sizes that you can actually achieve to achieve that goal. So sometimes the key influencer can change everything with one sentence.
Well, and the key factor to that is that the influencer sees everything from the outside. You're so in the inside that you can't see some things. You know, even some of the greatest businesses out there have coaches. Even major sports stars still have coaches. I know that Michael Jordan had coaches, and he was constantly looking for new ways to improve his game, even though he was a master at what he did. And they could be able to see that, hey, if you turn your hip to the right just a little bit more, they won't be able to get around you on that side. And so having an coach that helps guide you and perfect your trade and what you do.
Yeah, we all seem to get stuck in these roadblocks. Sometimes they're mind blocks. Sometimes they're just business ruts that you're in. But having that right influencer and that person just to kind of step in from the outside and show you what's going on. There was a story that I heard, and I'll probably beat it up pretty badly, but it was a story about Tony Robbins, and he hired a golf pro to show him some tips because he was going to be doing a lot of meetings on the golf course and just wanted to perfect the game a little bit. Somewhere by the 4th hole, the coach had been observing the game. And Tony hits a ball, and it doesn't really go where he wanted it to right there. And it's still on the green, still decent, and the coach starts laughing. And he turns around and says, why are you laughing? And he says, oh, no, just keep playing through, play through. Next hole, he does it again. Kind of gets a little bit better, but he's still a little bit off of where he actually wanted to land. The coach laughs again. He's like, hey, you know, I'm a coach. You're supposed to be coaching me, and you're laughing over there. That's probably the worst thing you could do. And he says, you're just off by a little bit. So I want you to turn that left foot just a little bit to the left, and then just do what you were doing. And he does it, and he lands right where he wants to land. So that's what we're looking for in the now, is that there's just these little key pieces that are going to come up that you're going to hear on this show that are going to change your business for the better.
Yeah, they're the gold nuggets that you'll pick up from not only us, but also a lot of the guest speakers, right? There's a lot of folks that's one thing that could change your business, your life, everything, whether it's personal, whether it's in your business. You know, you just never know what that one thing is, and that's the thing. In the now is going to bring it to you. That one thing that could change your life.
So as the key influencers come on the show, we'll be having local business owners that live right here in your area, as well as businesses from around the world. Keynote influencers, speakers, authors, coaches, small yogurt shop owners, all the way up to Fortune 500 companies. So what we'd like to do for our audience is just help you grow. We would like to help as many people get what they would like so that they can have what they want. I believe truly that choices are how you change. The more choices that you put on your menu, the more growth you're going to have. If you limit your choices, it's not going to really work out for you. If you don't add new choices for yourself, then you're not really growing. In most sequences, we limit ourselves by what we think we can do versus what might be possible. Sometimes we're scared to take that next step forward. Sometimes it's just uncomfortable. So a lot of the things when we're on this show and we're talking to you, we'd like you to play full out. We'd like you to really think about what we're saying and then try something new when it's over. Actually get out there and do something that we talk about and take that next step to grow yourself. I basically want you guys to start realizing that the more uncomfortable you are with something, the faster you should jump into it, or how you should walk into it. Should you go into it immediately? Doesn't matter. You can go into it slow. Every little step you take is going to move you forward. So when you start hearing key points in here, my thing to you guys is just do something with it.
Take action.
Take action.
Yeah.
It's like learn from these things. Find out what's going on. If one of our guests is having a meetup, one of our guests is doing a conference, one of our guests has a radio show, follow through with the ones that you like. Actually stay on board with them. Learn from them. Just suck up as much knowledge as possible. If you go to my website, it literally says use Brandon's brain for free. I will literally have strategy sessions with people where I'll give them everything I can to make sure that their business is going to be successful. Whether or not they work with me or not, I want to give as much knowledge as possible. But more importantly, I want them to do something with it. I want them to actually implement it into their business, actually take action and take these steps to move forward. Even if it's a one small incremental step, it's changing everything.
Yeah, one of my favorite sayings is get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Right? Get and step out of that zone. And here's the one thing I know is that every time you step out of that comfort zone, your comfort zone starts to expand, starts to increase, right?
Yeah.
So so we're gonna be going to commercial, but when we get back, man, I'm excited about our special guest.
Yeah.
Bernie Norman, man, this gentleman's got some history, so I'm excited to have him, and so come back and stay tuned, and we'll talk to you here shortly.
And then now. Good ad lib, bud.
Huh?
Good ad lib.
Yeah.
So you're gonna go right in. Did you write that one? You're on.
You want?
Your introduction now.
Okay. Hello there and welcome back. And folks, we have a very, very special guest that I want to introduce. I've had some opportunities to spend a lot of time with this gentleman, and every single time, you know, talk about influencers. You pick up a ton of knowledge from this young gentleman, Bernie Norman, who you know, he's like a industry thought leader, and I love getting around folks that have been there, done it, have seen and worked with a lot of companies. And Bernie, you know, was the founder of CEO Space International. They're in 145 countries. They've been rated #1 by Forbes and Inc. magazine. He's a best-selling author. He's a movie producer. He even was the founder of the Investment Banker. Bernie, welcome to the show in the Now.
Well, I'm glad to be here at the fifth generation San Francisco, and you know, San Francisco is our home base, and so we've been here for 30 plus years helping business owners kind of double their income and triple their time off. So we endorse CEO Space International. We endorse the Now Academy. We want our members to get hooked up with this online support system and make a difference in their lives, because you've got the hard tools and tactics. And so Mike, you and Brandon are slamming it, and I know your heart. You care about entrepreneur doing better right now, that's why you call it now.
Yep.
And not next year and the year after. So I think, you know, you're gonna find a lot of people saying, you gotta listen to, the Now Show, because you're all gonna phone in and it's gonna be so hot, you're gonna love it.
Yeah, I can't wait, right? I'd love to have a lot of the members calling in and, you know, just sharing their knowledge and wisdom, because I know there are a lot of amazing entrepreneurs and CEOs and different levels of business owners. You know, the networking groups that you guys do, and like the one that's coming up, which we'll announce here in a minute, is just a great group of amazing people that serve. That's the one thing I think I got the most out of the networking groups and
You know what I love what he just said?
what's that?
Double your income, triple your life.
I love that, isn't that?
Because our whole core model is design your business to gain your life. There's so many people that come in and they say, I want to make more money. Well, what have that do for you? Oh, I'd have more time for my family.
Exactly.
Well, what have that do for you? Oh, I'd have time for vacations. They really think it's all about the money, but the more money you're making, the more life you should be having. So I love
It's
that.
all about freedom. I
Yeah.
mean, what we wanna do is get away from struggle and income planning and have, what I found 30 years helping businesses like Airborne, the allergy cold medication company that sold for hundreds of millions. She was a school teacher and borrowed the money to come to CEO Space. I mean, she sold this for one of the biggest merger acquisitions in history, and we all used that for our, and what was the issue? She had a weak plan, weak team, and she lacked the resources. And, you know, if there are two sites that you should think about, now listen, because I'm gonna give you value where you can use it for those you know, someone that you wanna give it to that's in business. Go to ceospace.net, look at a video, and that's a 5-process event where entrepreneurs come together, the mentors are there, it's a place Tony Robbins comes to. It launched Chicken Soup for the Soul, broke Guinness Book of Records, launched Rich Dad, Poor Dad, broke Guinness Book of Records, launched The Secret, and in Marin County, men are from Mars, women are from Venus, for teens. And then we told them the big one, that John Gray, you're gonna do the big one. Write the book when men and Mars, Mars and Venus collide. And that's still a bestseller, telling us all how to get out of those collisions. And I'm just saying, those are the fun things we do at CEO Space, but when you're looking at that, that's a great website, ceospace.net. And another one, crowdfunding's out there, folks, and money is important. You can have capital. That's permanent money, it's not a loan, and it works harder than you could ever work. It works with PR that has got, you know, you're on this radio show, you're in articles, you're out there. It works in advertising where everyone's seeing you. You know, we get stuck like I was yesterday on the, little hour and a half drive from Auburn back downtown to the Smoky Bottom restaurant where we have standing room only. We do networking every Wednesday. It's free, there's no selling, and it's all cooperative based. So you all can come and network, and you just got one rule. Come in to help another business, not to go and get your own. Come to help another business, and you'll find you get more of that, doing that networking, than you do, trying to get one non-crummy person and get out of there. But I want to have you go to a website called Sprout, just like a green shoot, SPROWTT, for crowdfunding.com. They have videos, it's a government-approved website, and in less than 2 weeks, you can be up with $1 million crowdfunding offering. You can have money coming in from Facebook and LinkedIn and all the social platforms. You can have the ability to grow your business in a way you could never do had you not had some capital come in. And you can raise any amount you want, 50,000, 100,000. The government's changed the rules. It's cheap, it's fast, and everybody can do it because they want you to create jobs. They want you to be successful. So learn a little bit about that. If you got that on the Now Show, that's a really big item, because if you're out there trying to kill the boar and you're using your knife and the boar is bigger than you are, it's not bad to have a .45 Magnum in your back pocket.
Yeah.
Not at all. What was that website again? I want to make sure everybody gets that out there.
It's just like a new shoot, Sprout, like sprouting up a business with 2 T's, SPROWTT, CF for crowdfunding.com. Right?
Awesome. Well, you guys heard that in the now, right here, just heard it. That's the website you want to go, especially crowdfunding. I totally agree. Now, Bernie, with the things in the economy today and a lot of change happening, how do you feel that businesses our position for the growth and the new technology and things that are going on?
Well, we're in super change, and you've got to remain current. You can't afford to be behind or say, I don't want to keep up. You really have to be current. Currency and the education required to do well in the age of the entrepreneur, with 70,000 new people coming into Sacramento Basin a year, whole city a year. You have hundreds of thousands of new businesses that are coming into this community, and you need to remain current. So that's the, you said, what's education today? Your brain, with its ability to learn faster, to unlearn faster, and to relearn faster. That's more important than the Stanford MBA, that brain. And when you hire, you should look for it. And then, in 2023, everybody's going to be asking you, did you go for it in 2017? Did you go for it in 2018? Did you go for it when interest was so low, lowest of our lifetime? Did you go for it when the property value was so low? Did you go for it? Did you go for it when stocks were at the all-time record high? When bonds were all-time record high? When real estate was the all-time record high? When consumer confidence in October was the highest going into year-end ever recorded? When business confidence was the highest ever recorded? And when 72% of all spending is from right now, that's now, when the launch of the Now Show, right now, today, to the end of the year, 28% of the spending created all those stats, all that number. I'm an investment banker economist. I'm telling you, what's coming is a tsunami of buying by year end. Is your surfboard in it? Are you work harder, work longer hours, get offline 9 to 6, get in line, go to all the meeting platforms, get out there in your target market, and you can just put it into search in these meeting platforms, and morning and night they're great meetings, just like ours at Sandy Bottom. Come to them, get out and get in line and make those connections, because your net worth is your net worth. It's your future, it's your capital. So when you have time to exchange, get into the space where your buyers are and get relationship built, because more spending will be done between now and year end. And remember, when they buy from you, it's a tax write-off for most of them. Most of you, it's a tax write-off. And they want to save those taxes and get it booked by year end. So make the next 60 days. This is the tsunami for small business. So get a second wind, recharge yourself, put your shoulders back, get out in it. This is the good times.
This is the now.
People are going to say, when is the good times? Now.
Yeah, now is when it's going to be happening. And what I love that you just said is you have to be able to unlearn and relearn some things. There's so many mind blocks that are happening within your body that are stopping you from taking that next step. You've got to want more choice, and you've got to jump in.
You got to start starving for information, almost be an investigator.
But we thought things would slow down and we could catch up and go back to the old way. They're not slowing down, they're speeding up. Most of you know Bob Proctor, star of The Secret. Go CEO Space, just a space for CEOs. The CEO that's the head of the business, CEO Space, Bob Proctor. Look at the film, and he tells you things are speeding up. They're not slowing down. We got to calm down and catch up. And it's actually fun,
Yeah.
and say, how do I stay current? What is the tool I can stay current? I'm so busy, I just have an hour a day. Hey, the Now Academy. And you said it earlier, if it's not your genius, it's not your job.
Yeah.
Do what
Do what
you
you do best and delegate the rest.
It's not your genius, not your job.
Yeah, I love it. So, with that, with whether you like him or not, you got Donald Trump up there, and he's doing a lot of different things in the business world and helping the small businesses in the economy. What are your thoughts about what's going on with that?
They're canceling House of Cards from the little scandal with the star.
Mm.
And I just think that the #1 sitcom is not The Apprentice, it's called The White House.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what your politics are, it's the highest rating in the world, and we're one tweet away from another higher rating. So, as we look at it, you've got to look at stats. So whether you hate him or like him, he came in with a down bubble, 1.2% GNP going to maybe a recession, and he said we're going to be 3%, and everybody, his own people, Republicans, everybody said, no frickin' way. We're now at 3% growth. Right now, before the tax reform. If the tax reform that came out when? Now, today, this morning. If that gets passed, we're going to have 5 to 7% growth. We're going to have 5 more years of boom. and you guys are gonna make a fortune, because we're in the age of the entrepreneur, and if you haven't started your own business on the side around your salary job, that's how you make wealth versus cash flow and have joy along the journey. So I recommend join the age of the entrepreneur, get in the Now Academy, get the tools and tactics, and you'll say, thank God.
Absolutely, I totally agree. One of the biggest things that I try to influence anyone that wants to work with me is just start taking action now. Find what you need, find those people to learn from. These networking spaces, a lot can be done with 1 hour. When people ask me when I'm doing social networking, I'll do 15 minutes consuming what's going on out there, then 15 minutes actually like responding with a heart. Not trying to be a salesperson, just getting into what's going on out there and giving as much as I can. These network groups, if you just joined one new network group where you just showed up and gave, not take, just give.
Well, we're the only one doing cooperative networking in the entire North Bay area, and I tell you, we've been doing this 30 years. We pioneered it, and Forbes magazine, Inc. magazine, 4 years in a row says if you own a business, you can't afford to miss CEO Space. They give us the ranking.
Folks, when we get back from break here, Bernie Dorman, we're going to ask him, what can small businesses do today to project and go and grow? So stay tuned. As soon as we get back, we'll get those answers.
In the now.
Good job.
So we want to plug your Wednesday night?
Yeah, I mean, it's free for them.
Smoky Oaks
It's probably
Tavern.
the best networking in the community for real hard results. I mean, when we shared last night, it bring tears what people were giving in feedback.
That's awesome.
What they got out of cooperative versus competitive network. And we don't sell.
I think we should talk about that, like the difference, the separation, the cooperative versus competitive. And then we should also plug the meetup that we do. Talk
Yeah,
about.
we'll do that in our last 10.
Yeah. Oh, we got another break? Man, I was thinking this was the third break. Hey folks on Facebook Live, how you doing? It was funny, you know, like when, as soon as you said, hey, right, you know, I want to give you a couple websites, Brandon and I like jumped to action and grabbed a pen to write down, right? And how many people do that, right? Just to,
People who want to grow.
yeah,
People
exactly.
who want knowledge.
Yeah.
I love learning. So
I think you ought to plug Sprout right into your Now Academy.
yeah.
His name is Mark Jones. He'll be at the program. You'll meet him. I'd form alliance with him.
Are you gonna come in?
Sure.
We should also probably mention do you want to mention the CEO Space event?
December 11th.
Yeah.
On the biggest, you're having the biggest event of the year.
Yeah.
They're coming from countries all over the world. And what do you get there?
And how does someone get in touch? So we want to let them know.
What do I say there as far as your website?
What do you say?
They can either go, they can just email me, call me, or
How do you say
Does it
that?
show up at Smoky Box?
Smoky, yeah, go to Smoky Oaks.
Dorman.
Smoky Oaks Tavern.
Smoky Oaks Tavern.
Welcome back to In the Now with host Brandon Heinz and Mike Drigger. So today we have Bernie Dorman in the store from CEO Space, and he's here with us in the show just sharing with everybody some of the key tips for businesses. But one of the things he said to us on the break was really, really resonating with me. You want to go ahead and repeat this thing about the networking group you have?
Well, at Smoky Oaks, what we do is, you know, if you're tired of dog-eat-dog networking and dog-eat-dog business principles, we've taken the largest firms like 3M and a single mom starting a charity in her living room, and we build businesses on cooperative model systems and principles, collaboration. And all our people come to Smoky Oaks and they're going to help each other. They walk in saying, Lord, let me help another business owner, let me lighten their load. And everybody helps everybody else. You get up, you have See Me cards that are contact cards, we tell you how that works. You get better networking, you're not swapping business cards. When you get a contact, then that person arranges a meal for you. You have like a no-host meal, you get a relationship, or at least a two-way call, where they're really walking you into that connection. And so we make networking work, and we do this from Maine to Boca, and we do it from Anchorage to Alaska, but we are in 140 countries. And we're the largest lobby for small business in America. So we're institutional, we help small business, and we've been in Sacramento for 31 years.
Awesome. Now, you've got a big event coming up in December. Why don't you share with the audience a little bit about that?
That's at Innisbrook, at Tampa Bay. That's where all our meetings are held 5 times a year. And the biggest one of the year, because we have our teen class, and folks bring their teen to the #1 teen entrepreneur training, which is a gas I'm bringing too. And it's at 72 holes of PGA, 5 pools, water slides, right by the beaches. They shuttle you to them. And kitchens in all your hotel rooms, and you're paying Holiday Inn Express. And people come in to network for a week, and we get you customers. We get you more clients, more customers in a week than many people get in a year. And if we don't accelerate your business, our products, your acceleration, if we don't accelerate your business beyond what you could do, we refund your lifetime membership before you leave the building. We haven't raised prices since 1988. So if you come to Smoky Oaks, you can meet our chapter presidents that run our organization in your town and community, and we never sell. We just kind of share information, and if it looks like it's going to speed your business up, if it's a shortcut to get a lot more customers in the market, check it out. Go to cospace.net and take a look at it.
Yeah, and that's the Smoky Oaks Tavern in Fair Oaks. That's 9634 Fair Oaks Boulevard. It's Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Free.
And yeah, it's free. So what I love is it's kind of the core that this whole show, that the Now Academy, that me and Mike live by. It's helping other people without anything.
Well, when I say it's free, you got to buy dinner.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to eat.
Yeah, you gotta eat.
We do eat before we do networking.
But it's definitely going to be worth your time. But the core that I love is that it's about helping someone else, not just about, hey, would you like to hire me? It's like, what does your business need, and how can I help that business move forward? And that person's going to love you. Some of my best referrals have been from people that I've just given advice to and said, if you implement this one little piece that I can see from the outside, it's going to change your whole business. And when they do, they remember where it came from.
Let me give you the most important business tip I can give you. Get, Wednesday at 6 o'clock to Smoky Oaks and order the salmon. Socks off, I'm telling you.
I have to try that. Yeah, I agree with you, Brandon. You and I have many conversations about this, that, as business owners and leaders, thought leaders out there, coming with a servant's heart always outperforms the competitive side. You create more relationships, you increase the value of you because you're providing back, and it always comes back tenfold.
Let me give
always.
you 2 books to read that are this year's Buzz books. One is by Michael Drew. They're both on faculty at CO Space, and it's called Pendulum. And it talks about how the market has shifted. I market and I marketing, and what that means to we marketing and we messaging. And if you don't change your message to accommodate the pendulum shift, you're going to be high and dry without customers. So that's a big one. That'll help you pinpoint getting customers and clients. The other one is called Pivot. We all go through pivots, and you're probably in one or will be doing one. And how do you accommodate the pivots of life? That's by Adam Markell. He's run the largest training company in the world, Peak Potentials, one of our endorsement partners. And Adam helps train speakers and brings multi-millionaire speakers alive and gets speakers built up. But Pivot is a New York Times bestseller. You've got to get that book before year end. And both will help you as you look at the pendulum for your marketing and the pivots you're going to go through and how to make them work for you when you pivot.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
I hope you take action and write those down. Anytime, it's funny, we talked about this during the break, that anytime somebody mentions either a book or URL, take action right there, write it down, then go order it, right? Go get it.
You guys are both doing it. It was interesting. I mean, I could bring up a website, bring up a book, and you're hitting the yellow pads and doing it, and I'm thinking, boy, if everybody did that, they'd beat you guys.
Well, this is the thing that you see. Like, we're actually writing this down. I have this statement called Ask Whole. This is someone who continually asks for advice and does nothing about it.
Yeah.
So it's like, what's the point? Like, I just hired a mentor to come into a franchise that I own, and that's what I do for a living, right? I go in and I build businesses and make them grow. But I hired a third-party mentor to come in, and he came in with some off-the-wall advice that I would have never thought of, and I said, I'm going to follow you.
Well, my father, trained Walt Disney and Martin Luther King and Earl Nightingale and Zig Ziglar, and Napoleon Hill worked for his company till he died, and Jack Kennedy picks my first Little League game, and this all Marin County, folks.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I can remember when I was 7 in 1955, and he was telling a lesson to entrepreneurs, and he said, you know where all the wealth of the world is? And they had different things that they put up, and he would write them down, and they were all wrong. And he said, no, all the wealth in the world is at 2 in the morning at any cemetery. And you see it come out and walk around the headstones, and it's all the dreams.
Yeah.
And the dreams are screaming at the headstones. Only you could have given me life. Only you could have made the choices where I could have benefited others. Only you could have brought me into the way that had enormous value from what you dreamed but didn't take action on. Only you. And I'm saying, the super achievers, Father said, have taken action, made different choices, and they brought what their life is about so others could benefit from it. So wealth is really, Dad used to teach us how many people are benefiting from what your genius is all about in the market. And if we can celebrate you in the market so you can just get some invisible options, that's what I think the Now Academy does. It takes options right in your face, but they're invisible. You can't see them. Mentors make the invisible options visible. They become visible, and you lick the palm of your hand, slap your forehead, and go, wish I had that 3 or 4 years ago. But it changes everything. It changes velocity, momentum, and acceleration, right? So velocity, acceleration, and momentum, we call it BAM. And it's changed by making the invisible visible, and you need mentors to do it. So I want you to really enjoy the fact that when you're busy, you can go online and get the greatest kind of sequence, which is so critical in business success, from the Now Academy. And it's like, it's so affordable. I mean, everybody can get in that. If you want a live version of it, the most advanced, what Bob Proctor and what Tony Robbins calls the Super Bowl in the world today, then check out CEO Space and get into that when you can. And between the two of them, you won't have the same business. We're going to accelerate you, and you're going to stop pedal to the metal. You're going to stop being in the commuter lane, which wasn't moving last night, and you're going to be in the Starship Enterprise. And those invisible options are going to get you out of Earth orbit, and you're going to go warp 4, because warp 10 would scare you too much the first time. And when you come back and see the Earth again, you will never ask for the keys to the car for transportation of your dreams into the marketplace.
Absolutely, and you hit a key point for me too. I have 3 kids I'm raising right now, and I'm trying to make those little shifts in them, and you nailed it. If you don't take action on these dreams, on these things that we're telling you, if you don't look up any of these books, if you don't actually go to these websites, if you don't actually do something, then nothing's going to change. And I think Mark Twain said it best. You live and you die. And on your tombstone, it's going to show the day you were born and the date you died. But what's most important right now, what's really the main factor, is what are you going to do with the dash in between? What action are you going to take to make your life better? If you don't want change, change will not happen. If you want change, you will have choices to make those changes. Show up at a new network group. Download one of these books. If you don't like reading very much, download an app called Blinkist, where they'll give you the cliff notes on the book to see if you really want to read it. I had to use the Blinkist for Tools for Titans. Amazing book, but when it showed up, it was like 8 inches thick, and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have to block 2 months out to read that book. So I read the Blinkist, and it actually motivated me to go read the book.
Right.
So start taking some action on some of this stuff. He's given you crowdfunding, CEO Space, the Now Academy, the Pendulum, the Pivot. Like, taking action on one of these items from today, just one, may monumentally shift, may pivot your businesses.
Yeah, what would happen? I mean, just think just a 1% degree change. You think about it, it's only 1% at the now, but if a spaceship is going towards the moon, 1% off by the time they hit the moon is 1,000,000 degrees off.
Yeah, they're walking a long ways to get back to the original spot.
Exactly. So what if you changed 1% every day? Over 365 days, that's a 365% change, right? So take action on the stuff that we're sharing with you, especially Bernie and what he's provided today. This is some valuable stuff. And you know, what is the one tip that you could give businesses today?
You gotta retain your customer, you can't lose them, you gotta get repeat buying from them, you have to turn them into repeat buying, raving fans, you gotta get referral marketing, go to TJ Maxx, go to Marshall's, buy in the clearance rack, a Bud vase, it costs $4, all those little Chotsky items, put them in your little gift bag, take them home while you're watching a movie, gift wrap them, get a Hallmark card, and acknowledge your customers. It's coming the holiday. Da, 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 da. Give it out to them.
Yeah.
It says you're not a client, you're not a customer, you're a member of our family. And I want to acknowledge how important your business is. They will repeat buy. They will never leave you. Are you acknowledging your customer? It is the cheapest, fastest thing I can give you to change what will happen in the next 60 days while you're listening to da, 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 da,
While you're
da,
listening
da.
to the In the Now show.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
People all the time in my courses will look at me like I'm crazy, and I say, guess what? Your clients are human beings. You're a human. You're serving another human. Let them have what they want. Ask them what they want and give it to them.
Happy holidays, all of you guys. I want you to have a great one. We need a holiday season right now. So as
Yes,
Trump
we
goes
do.
to Asia, we're going to start to have a holiday. Okay?
All right, we'll see you guys after the break.
Nice. Staying or going?
It's up to you. Want to
It's
stay?
up to you. Well, I'll
You
ask.
can end it up.
We got 2 more questions for you.
It's up to you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Are you in a
I'm
hurry?
happy to- Do you,
No,
We
you
do
guys
have,
are
we
good.
do have an appointment
Okay, go ahead.
coming up.
you want me to go right now?
Well, yeah, we're gonna be probably 5
Okay.
minutes late for the one that's.
If we stay.
if we
Yeah, we'll
stay.
plug
Or,
you the
yeah,
rest of the
even
way
now.
through.
Okay, good.
We'll be good.
Thank you. Sorry.
No, that's all right.
We got a great first show.
All right.
Yeah, we do. Thank you very
I
much,
did
sir.
that holiday, say Santa Claus, start with Santa Claus had to leave with his sleigh.
Okay.
He's coaching businesses.
Don't hit that.
Thank you, guys.
Go ahead and bring it back in.
I'll bring it back.
Yep.
Hello there and welcome back. Man, what a great interview with Bernie Dorman, the founder of CEO Space International. You know, if you ever get any time to spend with him, it's just unbelievable. And, you know, they network all around the world. They have some pretty amazing things that are going on. And so you definitely want to take advantage of.
And this is in your own backyard.
Yeah.
These guys are in Fair Oaks. Like, he's down in Marin, and I spent a lot of time down in Marin. But what I really liked is this is a guest. This is a Fortune 500 on Forbes, sponsored. The names that he's worked with, Tony Robbins. I mean, just thinking about all of this, and it's in your own backyard. That's you listeners right here in Sacramento. Have the option to go out to Smoky Oaks Tavern on Wednesday night and have all of this free learning. And like, the thing that sticks with me the most and why this guest kicked off our show with us today is that his heart is so big.
Yeah.
If you
absolutely.
noticed over and over again, he was plugging the Now Academy. We didn't ask him to do that, but he understands where we're coming from. He feels the heart that we want to give out. There's been clients that I've worked with for years on end that are just coming through to my network groups. We love to give back. Every Thursday night at the Now Academy, we have a meetup group. And we give away 90 minutes of free knowledge based off whatever struggles these people are going through in their business. Whether they're starting a brand new business, whether their business is currently facing some adversity, we're there to help. We don't charge for this. We don't ask them to donate to us. We just literally give free space out. And that's what CEO Space does on their Wednesday night group. Now, I'll tell you again because I want to plug them because they did a great job today. It's the Smoky Oaks Tavern, Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. And that's over in Fair Oaks, and I believe New York's the closest cross street. And this is just something that multi-million-dollar companies are taking advantage of. Small mom and pop yogurt shops, speakers, coaches, everybody that's out there working. Take a step out of your normal routine and go do something new. Do something that's going to expand you.
Yeah, we have fans. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Already.
Fans are
We
coming
just
by the
started
studio
sh-
snapping
We
pictures.
just started the show now. We got fans. I love it. Taking pictures. Yeah, take advantage of, what Brandon was saying. We do these live meetups, and you can search on Meetup as the Roseville Marketing and Business Meetup. We provide some very valuable knowledge. I know several people that have been through there have already changed the way that their business is operating. And, the CEO space take advantage of this. A lot of folks, there's a ton of information out there, but, get it from people that are doing things, people that are actually making things happen, and take advantage of the networking opportunities. So,
Yeah, I mean, I'm always learning, and I know I'm going to be learning till the day I die, and I'm probably going to learn more even then.
Oh, yeah.
So when those things happen, you just have to take advantage of everything you said. Like, I already know I'm going to download The Pivot, and I'm going to start that book right after my next one.
yeah, actually, that's a great book. I have it. I don't have the Pendleton. I'm going to get that one, but the Pivot's really good. I really enjoyed reading that. And I've actually been to his the Peak Performance. Right, he took over T. Harv Eker's organization, and for the United States, and so I've been to several events, and it's a great book. But personal development. Let's talk a little bit about that. I think that's key for any business owner or anybody in business. A lot of folks don't take advantage of personal development. I love the Blink because
Blink list.
Yeah, the Blink list. You had told me about it, and I just signed up. And I love it because I can get to very narrow, specific things. Like I see something, and now I'll get that book and go right to that chapter and get in more detail.
Yeah.
Right. So it allows me to speed up the process because that's what, as Bernie was saying, we're going faster and faster. You've got to find ways to systematize to get your organization, even your life, in a way that you can speed up. Like my car, it's University on Wheels. Right, listen to the radio. I'm always in personal development. I'm always listening to something. I had an hour drive up here, and I was listening for personal development. I'm constantly feeding my mind, and it doesn't have to be something around business. I mean, you can learn gardening, right?
Yeah.
As long as you're feeding the mind becomes creative.
And I shift all over the place. Most of the time I'm on Joel Osteen,
Yeah.
just listening to what
Love.
he has to say. And then yesterday I'm listening to The Billionaires.
Mhm.
And then what's that, it's not Bill Gates, it's the other guy, big Wall Street guru.
Warren Buffett.
Warren Buffett. So we just download Buffett.
Oh,
And me
yeah.
and my kids listen to the Blink list on the way to school. And this is what I mean by absorbing something, okay? So last night I'm driving to Best Buy to buy a little plug-in for this microphone, and I have my 10-year-old Maddox in the car. And he remembered listening to Buffett on the way to school that morning. And he said, Dad, so if that guy's the richest guy in the world, and he started out by collecting golf balls and selling them back to the golf course owner? And I said, yeah, he found something that was needed that he could make money off, and he launched it. And he said, well, who's the richest guy right now? And I said, I believe it's Bill Gates. And we put on a little piece right then and there on the Google, and it started reading it back to us, and it said that he gives away 25% of his income every year. And he goes, what do you mean he gives away 25% of his money for this foundation that goes after diseases in other countries so that it doesn't spread around the world?
Sure.
And he's still the richest? And he goes, well, what if he had like $1 for everybody in the world? And he goes, hold on. So he Googled how many people are in the world. There was only 7.6 billion.
Mm.
But his current net worth right now is 86 billion. And I said, Maddox, he has $10 for every person in the world.
Wow.
He could give every single person in the world $10, and guess what? He would be better for it, and he would probably grow twice as fast.
Absolutely.
So he goes, so by him giving back, he stays wealthy? And I said,
Mhm.
yeah. So just that little blink list that morning got his little brain clicking and started moving him towards a goal. Like, he's really thinking, like, what could I do? And right as we got back in the car, he goes, what if I sold my drone? What if I sold a better blade? Because we were at Best Buy to get a blade that keeps breaking and breaking and breaking. And I said, yeah, you can get on your 3D printer and make your prototype. But just something that small got his brain clicking. And forever, I wasn't a book reader, and I didn't really go after the mentors, but in the last 10 years, I really have. And my growth patterning and how I've actually saw my mind expanding and how my air game is perfected is why we're on this show.
Well, you know what? Once I took the step to find mentors, my business and life changed. Because here's what happened. They speed up a process for you. They eliminate pain, right? They allow you to have pleasure in what you do because of your business, right? I I could go and do it myself and spend 5 years trying to figure it out, or spend the time with a mentor, right? Even if it's just getting books in that personal development, but when I made that change, boy, everything shifted for me.
Yeah.
My business, my life, everything, and I love that story about your son. And you guys, I was kind of depressed. You didn't bring me my Hello Kitty
Headphones?
headphones. You sent me a picture, but
My son said, get your buddy those ones. I sent a picture of it and said, okay, my son says you can get these Hello Kitty headphones. This could be your opening debut on Facebook Live.
yeah, I gotta love it, right?
But I mean, you've got to look at these pieces to grow. Like when we do Design It, it's one of our core foundation courses for the Now Academy. We're teaching you everything that you need to launch from that weekend. Because what someone does that provides this information is they're collapsing a time frame for you. What you could probably do yourself in a year, you could probably do in 90 days with a mentor. And these courses that we do, these meetup groups, we're trying to give as much as possible so that your business will grow. And it will come back.
Yeah, there was a story I heard, and I can't remember where. I'm trying to find where it's either it was a book or something. It was something I was listening to. But there was a gentleman, a pastor or somebody said, "Okay, I'm gonna challenge this 10%, right? I'm gonna give back everything I get. I'm gonna give back and see what happens and see if it comes back." Well, it got to a point where he kept giving and giving, and his wealth got so large, he was still giving, and then he was getting airplanes, and then he would give it away to charities, and then something would come, and it was constantly, whatever he gave back, he got 300% back from it, whatever he gave.
That's just the way the law of averages work.
Yeah.
So if you learn one thing from what we're doing, and we got to wrap our show up today, we want to make sure we get some key points for you, is that it doesn't have to be monetary.
No.
You can walk down to Loaves and Fishes here in town and serve food for the day. And that's one of my things is like, I want to give something that I can feel from it. And it doesn't have to be, like just listening to that book with my kids, I gave him something that may change his life.
Yeah.
There's things that you can do that will change the world.
Yeah. Your time.
Yeah. So what we want from you guys is we're going to be bringing you guests just like Bernie from all kinds of spaces, from local entrepreneurs to Fortune 500 companies, to people that you know and you've heard of, to give you the best tips we can that you can take in the now and implement them.
Take action.
So this show is going to grow and grow. We want you to follow us, like us on Facebook, go to inthenowradio.com, go to the Now Academy if you'd like to be a guest. And if you're a business that's stuck or struggling right now, go to askbrandonnow.com and ask as many questions as you can that I can bring onto the show, and we will answer them for you. We're going to have live call-ins. We're going to have guest events. I mean, this is going to be a fun show for you guys. This is our kickoff. So thank you all who have been here with us.
Yeah, and thank you for listening. And today was just amazing. I got tremendous value out of just this time with Bernie.
And that one great topic he said, I mean, the best advice he could give you as a business is get the salmon over at Smoky Oaks Tavern. If you're going to network, you might as well try the salmon at this point.
There you go. There you go.
My kids always say, Dad, how come every time we go on vacation, we end up eating somewhere? Well, when you're in a town where there's a great restaurant, you got to stop and eat, right?
Yeah, you got to go where the locals are, right?
They're like, we want to get out there where the action's at. No, we're going to eat dinner first. What?
So folks, I hope you've enjoyed the show. This is the first of many, and I think some points that you could take away from today. One, support your customers, put them on a pedestal. Start thanking them. Two, a ton of resources that was given out. 3, taking action. Right.
Number 4, give back.
Yeah, give back. Number 5 was get comfortable being uncomfortable. Start stretching, getting out there, doing things that you were afraid to do, and take advantage and act now, in the now.
In the now. Every Thursday
At 10 a.m.
with Brandon Heights
and Mike Driggers.
Thank you.